Record.
We're ready to go.
On read.
Almost had the wrong show. Happy birthday! Not mine, not his, it's somebody's. Special way. Shine! Smile! So much style. I think it's time to tell the Suno Orchestra to go take a break. Thank you, Suno. I'm Bonnie D here with my very special guest. He's been on before, and I'm so happy he is back. It's Barak E. Barak, before we start, you get 2 sentences to tell everybody who you are and what you do. So go ahead.
Barak Engel. I am a security geek and an author with my debut novel, The Crack in the Crystal, out now.
And what is it about? Give us a little overview synopsis.
It's a fantasy mystery crossover that is based on a D&D campaign. So if you've ever wondered, this would be the thing you want to pick up.
And D&D is Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have to tell people that.
Well,
I'm sure everybody knows. Okay, let's get started. Here we go.
Out of 8 billion people on the planet, everybody knows.
All right. Well, I just have to make sure that I know. I'm just checking in. Okay, here we go. Pop the confetti. Light the candles fast. Not near the computer. It's happy birthday to you and you and you, and we hope it's a blast, the right kind. Bonnie D on her scarlet mic and special guest Barak E too. We're dishing celebration gold with a fun point of view, POV, but it doesn't rhyme. From icons on the screen to social stars who soar in terms of millions and millions and more. We'll share what they're known for and their pre-fame lore. Wacky holidays you've never heard before that you might want to celebrate now. Plus music milestones you're bound to adore, because we do. We've got candles and sparklers in the other room, frosting on the cake. I made it chocolate, Barak. Do you like chocolate?
Do you know anybody who doesn't?
Well, sometimes. All right, then I'll share it with you. A delicious blend only he and I could bake. So buckle up, darlings. A fun show is in store. HB2U is lighting up. Is it already September 16th? Yes, with glam, with bam, and more. Let's get started. I'll start off with music events. This is hard to believe. In 2006, 65-year-old Bob Dylan became the oldest person to have a #1 on Billboard's album chart when his album Modern Times, interesting title, reminds me of Charlie Chaplin, went to #1 in 2006. Hard to believe. Barak, what have you got for us?
I mean, if it was to be anybody, Bob Dylan makes a lot of sense to me, right?
There you go.
Well, the next one, 1993, I actually remember that one. That one
Yep.
made it all the way to Israel, where I was living at the time, is Janet Jackson appearing shirtless on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Wait a
Her
minute. Let's get it.
arms-
Let's get a.
You
Wait,
got it? You got
I
it?
gotta get a. Oh, there. That was revving up the engines. Let's get the gasp. There's the gasp, and now let's get the whistle. Okay, sorry about that. Now you can go. Go ahead. Tell us more.
Her arms in the air, her boobs covered by a pair of hands that belonged to her husband, Rene Elizondo was his name?
Yes, thank goodness. I was going to say when they say we need one more gasp here. Let me see if we get it. There we go. Okay, there we go. And should we get the whistle one more time? Okay, thank you, Janet, for that treat. I saw the picture of the cover. It was pretty good. 1984, well, these are a little out of sync here, but let's go end time in years. In TV's Miami Vice debuted with a 2-hour episode that included a scene that featured the Phil Collins hit In the Air Tonight. Do you remember Miami Vice,
Oh, yeah.
Barak?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a
And
cool
of course, being the as old as I am, Phil Collins is big. You talk to people today and like, what? Who? What?
I know. We're lucky they know who the Beatles and the Stones are. We'll leave that
Right?
one alone. I
Maybe.
know.
We'll
I
find
know.
out.
You go.
1970, Led Zeppelin replaces the Beatles as England's melody maker fan pull top act after 8 years where the Beatles were #1.
Wow. Okay. Are you a fan of Led Zeppelin? Do you know their music very well?
Absolutely.
I have to go listen to more then. We're
I
going.
even I even pay homage to them in Cracking the Crystal.
Do you really? Well, I
Uh-huh.
need to read your book then. And by the way, today we're going from the most recent years down to the farthest away years. I usually do it the other way. That's why I was confused for a second. I thought we are going the wrong way. In 1965, the Dean Martin Show debuted on TV with Dean's. I'm going to sing this. Everybody loves somebody sometime for its theme song. The popular variety show. Well, why not? He sang it, ran until 1974. That was a how many year? 9 year run, and introduces the backup dancers, the Gold Diggers. I sort of remember them. Dean Martin coins a new nickname for his pal who was a guest on the show, Frank Sinatra. And he didn't call him Old Blue Eyes, he called him chairman of the board. And that was part of the Rat Pack, right? That was
Yep.
the era of the Rat Pack. Chairman, I didn't know that Dean had coined that nickname for Frank in 1965 on the show. So much for history. What have you got next?
I love the next one, 1963. So the number one song from the Beatles again, She Loves You, is released in the US by the tiny Swan record label. Americans have absolutely no clue who the Beatles are, and the single absolutely fails to, it's just bombs, fails to chart, nothing happens.
Wait, let me see if I can get the trombone here. Hold on. There we go. Now you can continue.
And Capitol Records then releases I Wanna Hold Your Hand in 1964, and it hits top number one, and that's when Beatlemania begins. She Loves You is then re-released and goes all the way to the top. And I Want to Hold Your Hand, turns out, I did not know this, was the first Beatles record to be made using 4-track recording equipment. And with more than 1 million advance orders in the UK, I Want to Hold Your Hand didn't go to number one immediately because their first million seller, She Loves You, was having a resurgence of popularity following intense media coverage of the Beatles. 2 weeks later, I Want to Hold Your Hand goes number one, stays there for 5 weeks. I Want to Hold Your Hand became the Beatles' best selling single worldwide, selling over 12 million copies. And in 2018, Billboard magazine named it the 48th biggest hit of all time on the Billboard Hot 100. In the UK, it was the second highest selling single of the 60s behind She Loves You.
I want to sing that. You want to sing that with me? She loves you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She
yeah,
loves you.
loves
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
didn't kill it too
absolutely.
bad. Okay. I added those extra facts about the two. It was almost like the two songs were playing tag team. One tried to get to New York number one. One was unheard of. Nobody knew who they were. And all of a sudden they had, then everything is just exploding in terms of sales. Now think
I
about
just
this.
I just love that She Loves You bombed. That's gotta be something that makes as creative, like a creative person, gotta
Is
make you
that
happy,
justice?
right?
Well, listen, 1963. Okay, that was 30, 25, 30 and 25, 55, almost 60 years ago. And if they sold 12 million copies, think about what that would be
Yeah,
in today's the
yeah.
explosion of the numbers of the sales. They would be in the Taylor Swift stratosphere
That
right
would
there,
be
right?
like Gangnam Style, the
There
first
you
billion view hit
Yes.
in right
Yes.
in
And I
YouTube.
have one more music history. The same day, the same year, the Beach Boys, how could they, released their third album, Surfer Girl. And the word surf was in the titles of 5 tracks on that album. Did you know that? It was a
I
real
did not.
Oh, well, now you do. Let's go to our happy birthdays to celebrities. We have starting off with Mark Anthony, and he spells his name Marc. I always have to remember that. He's 57. What? He's the Grammy Award winning Puerto Rican singer and actor who became the top selling, we have a lot of milestones here, top selling salsa artist in history. His hits included, I can't pronounce all these, Viva Mi Vida. I need to know. I know that one. I need to know. Yes, Y Hubo al Quien and Viva la Nostro. Nuestro. As an actor, he appeared in the movies Man on Fire, Carlito's Way, Bringing Out the Dead. He's been married 4 times. Did you know that? 4 times. And wife number two was, well, we all know and love her, J-Lo, married for 10 or 11 years, 2004 to 14. Before fame, he was a backup vocalist for the group Menudo. I don't know if you can remember back that far. And in 2015, this is after fame, the 2015 music video for his song La Gozadera got over 1 billion views on YouTube. Wow.
That is
Wow.
wow. I wasn't one
2015,
of
that
them.
was 10 years ago, talking about billions. You've got the next one. This is a wonderful one.
I absolutely one of my favorite celebrities
I
too.
figured.
So happy birthday, Amy Poehler, who is
Hey.
54. Actress, comedian, and Saturday Night Live star who co-anchored Weekend Update with Tina Fey and parodied Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, wasn't that amazing when she
Yes, it
did that,
was.
right?
It was good.
She won a Golden Globe Award for her starring role as Leslie Knope on NBC TV's Parks and Rec, and her films include Mean Girls, Blades of Glory, and Baby Mama. And before she became famous, she was a member of the oldest collegiate improv comedy troupe, My Mother's Fleabag. I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of them either. Go
Now I'm
ahead.
gonna have to look it up. While
Yeah.
attending Boston College, where she graduated in '93 with a bachelor's degree in media and communications, and then she started improv at Chicago's Second City. Oh well, I've been there.
Yes.
In '99, she co-founded the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater Improv Theater and Training Center. And she voiced the character Joy in the wonderful 2015 Disney film Inside Out.
I saw Inside Out about a year ago when my children were visiting, and we watched it one night, and I was in tears. It was so.
What a great,
Have you seen
great movie.
Inside Out too? Have you seen the sequel?
Absolutely. I've
I
seen both of
haven't.
them twice.
I need to see Inside Out too, and I need to cry more. I think that would be really good. That was
But but I have to do this. Happy birthday, Amy.
let's get the heart. Hold it up,
Oh,
hold it
there's
up.
a
Give it a
heart. Yeah,
second.
there
There you
you
go.
go.
Wait
Yeah.
for the hearts to come out. If are you on Mac? Are you on?
No, I'm on Linux.
Okay, let me see if I can get the hearts for all of our birthdays. We're not done, but there we go. See,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. We got the hearts. I'll get balloons and confetti later. I'm going to do the next one. Nick Jonas. Oh my, he's 33, almost all grown up pop singer, performer who started the successful band, the Jonas Brothers. And he later, I didn't know he had another group called Nick Jonas and the Administration. Sounds like chairman of the board. He plays the character Boone on the Fox horror comedy series. That's an interesting mashup there. Scream Queens. I didn't know he dated Miley Cyrus for a year in 2006 to 7. And in 2018, he famously started dating actress Priyanka Chopra from Quantico, the series, and all kinds of movies and TV shows. And she is just gorgeous. And they married in 2018. I think they have a couple children, one by surrogate, as far as I know. Pre fame, Nick Jonas was discovered by a manager when he was 6 years old, and he started performing on Broadway when he was 8. Did you know the Jonas Brothers started that early?
No,
I didn't either. You've got another big time birthday today. Who's
I have
next?
not done. Jennifer Tilly, 67,
What?
right?
I know. I know. This is amazing ages. Go ahead.
American-born Canadian actress, professional poker player.
Yes.
Her acting career includes roles in Bound, Liar Liar, and starring as Tiffany Valentine, the bride of Chucky,
Woohoo.
in the Child's Play film series, which established her as a pop culture icon and scream queen. She has voiced Bonnie Swanson on the animated series Family Guy since 1999. And she is also a World Series of Poker bracelet champion, the first ever celebrity to win such a tournament in 2005. She won the third World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational Tournament in 2005 and was nominated for Poker Listing's Spirit of Poker Living Legend Award in 2014. And as of 2019, her live tournament winnings are over $1 million.
And
Way
this is
to go, Ms. Tilly. Happy
many,
birthday.
yeah, many years later. I wonder what her earnings are now. I think I've seen her on the Poker Championships on TV, and she's the sister of the actress Meg Tilly. So they must have had a lot of talent. 67. We both kind of gagged on that one. Hard to believe. Well, I'm glad she's still around. Let's go to another very interesting lady, very talented, Molly Shannon, actress, comedian, cast member of NBC Saturday Night Live from 95 to 2001. I remember her, and I'm going to tell you who she was. She created the character Mary Catherine Gallagher, the armpit sniffing Catholic high school girl who liked to lift her plaid skirt up, who longed for superstardom. She also appeared in the films Never Been Kissed in 99, How the Grinch Stole Christmas the next year, 2000, Wet Hot American Summer, 2001, and Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby in 2006. She's been in The White Lotus. I recognize her when I saw her in The White Lotus 2021, and Only Murders in the Building. That's with Steve Martin and Martin Short and Serena Selena Gomez. That's quite a show if you haven't seen it. She hosted SNL on May 12th, 2007, the second only former female cast member to host. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the first, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus worked with a different producer. It wasn't Lorne Michaels at the time at that particular show. So Molly was the first who was a former cast member of Lorne Michaels. Isn't that interesting? And we have a bunch of other birthdays. But do you remember Mary Catherine Gallagher on SNL?
Oh, absolutely.
She was a riot, wasn't she?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is actually Talladega Nights. So
Really?
yeah, it's such a fun little kind of culty thing, right? So
Will
uh,
Ferrell? Is it Ferrell
yeah.
or Farrell? How do you say it?
I think it's one of those, tomato tomato kind of arguments, right? If
Okay,
you ask
well,
him, if you ask him, he will probably say, "Oh, you just pronounce
however
it
you
Johnny
want.
or something like that, whatever, right?"
Will Ferrell would. He would. Okay, Ferrell, there we go. I gave you a list of other birthdays. You want to do that?
Yes, Mickey Rourke is 73 today. The pop singer Richard Marx is 62. The actor Ed Begley Jr. is 76. The actress Alexis Bledel is 44 today. Who knew?
Yes,
And low, Flo Rida, 46.
rapper. Happy birthday to all. Let me see if I can give some birthday cheer here to all of our. Let's see if we got this going. Oh, thank goodness it worked. Okay, happy birthday to all of our celebrants. But we've got even more. We still have in memoriam and social media. So, B.B. King, born
Mm.
today in 1925. He lived till 2015, a nice 89. As my mother, who lived to 100, would say, he was too soon. He died too soon. Riley B. King, known professionally as B.B. King, an American blues guitarist, singer, songwriter, record producer. He introduced a significantly sophisticated style of soloing based on what they call fluid string bending, shimmering vibrato, and staccato picking that influenced many later electric guitar blues players. All music recognized B.B. King as the single most important electric guitarist of the last half of the 20th century. I want to say that slowly, let it sink in. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll, isn't that interesting, blues, but he got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 87, one of the most influential blues musicians of all times, and they call him the King of the Blues. He performed on average, now listen to this, he's making us look like slackers. He performed on average over 200 concerts a year in his 70s. And in 1956, he appeared at 342 shows. What I
Wow.
found was most fun was he named his guitars Lucille. Usually he played a black Gibson guitar similar to the ES-330 or the ES-355. Those of you guitar aficionados would know what that means. And Gibson introduced in 1980 a B.B. King custom model. He wrote a song called Lucille talking about his guitar and how it got its name. And I want to tell you that I was a stringer reporter for the Improper magazine on Long Island, and I got to go to the Westbury Music Fair, excuse me, which was theater in the round, and I got to go and do a report and took my own pictures, and I got to attend a concert given by B.B. King
Oh,
at the
wow.
Westbury Music Fair. And that was really, really something. And I wrote it, I'll have to find it. I have a JPEG of the story, but I had my own column on entertainment reporting, and that was quite a
Wait,
thrill.
so you were an entertainment reporter when you were 5 years old?
I was. Yeah, I'm very precocious. We know that. All right, this is for you. This is for you. Hold on. There we go. Come on. There we go. That's for you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much.
Mm.
Oh, you're so sweet. You've got another musician celebrating in memoriam. Who is it?
A jazz guitarist Charlie Bird, who lived to be 74 and passed away in 1999.
He was born
He
the
helped,
same day as B.B. King. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just realized that. Go ahead.
yeah,
Wow, that was some day.
well, got to continue the spirit, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Charlie helped bring bossa nova to America with his 1962 collaboration with Stan Getz on the album Jazz Samba.
Oh, wonderful.
His father, a mandolinist and guitarist. How often do you use the word mandolinist?
Never.
Never, right? I was like,
Never.
taught him how to play the acoustic steel guitar at age 10. Serving in the US Army in World War II, he was stationed in Paris in 1945 and played in an Army Special Services band that toured occupied Europe in the all-soldier production of G.I. Carmen. After returning to the US, he began playing a 1933 nylon string classical guitar that he purchased in a New York City music store. In
Wow.
1954, he became a pupil of Spanish classical guitarist Andre Segovia,
Mm.
and studied in Italy. Bird's earliest and greatest influence was gypsy jazz guitarist Django Reinhardt, whom he saw perform in Paris.
That is some history. And, sometimes I'm asked, I mentored a couple people along the way when I was a marketing person at a big company, and they just came to me and asked for some advice. And I said, I think Leonard Cohen used one of these ideas, I'm going to say, in one of his songs. If you see the window is open just a drop, push it open and see what's on the other side. Let the air in and see there might be an opportunity. There might be something that inspires you or excites you. And the other thing is, if you see the door is open just a drop, push that goddamn door open and just see what's on the other side. Because I don't know how many careers you've had, Barack. I'm on my ninth, I think. And look at what you just read about Charlie Bird, about his saga, his journey, his travels. He helped bring bossa nova to America. He performed with Stan Getz. He was in the army. He toured Europe. He bought a guitar in a music store. He toured. He went and took lessons from Andre Segovia, one of the most famous classical guitarists. My parents had a record they used to play of Segovia, and it was, wow, that's really good. And he played and he was inspired by Django Reinhardt. I mean, this is a person who just followed the inspirations, wouldn't you say? Is that inspiring?
So for those of you who don't know about the way this show works, um,
Oh, please tell me.
Bonnie sends me this stuff, but and I get to choose whether I want to read it in advance or not. I choose not to, so I am just as surprised as I'm reading it as you might be. And Bonnie, of course, sits there and she's like, ha, 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 "This is such a cool thing that I just shared with you, and you got to experience in the moment." Which I love this whole part of this interaction. So yeah, this is
Thank you.
awesome. I mean, I'm kind of
Thank you.
experiencing it for the first time, just
And you
like
know
our
something?
listeners.
It's my joy to research these birthdays. It's a chance to look into interesting lives, especially the in memoriam. Yesterday on my show, it was the birthday of Agatha Christie, the Queen of
Really?
Mysteries.
Oh
She
gosh,
wrote
I love
66,
her.
66 novels, 14 short story collections, and more. And she was one of the most successful mystery writers in the history of mystery writing. And I had a whole bio on her, and it was fabulous. So,
So one of her novels, which is my favorite novel of Dame Christie's, served as a significant inspiration again for my novel, The Crack in the Crystal. So
really,
yes,
see how all the threads just keep
yeah.
intertwining there? We're crocheting or knitting something here. There you go. Yes. Okay, let's go to social media star birthdays. We've got four today, and I'll start. We have a young man. I can say that he's 38. His name is Anthony Padilla, Padilla, depending on how you pronounce it. He has 7 million plus subscribers. What does he do? He's an internet sensation. Why? He's a comedian. He's a filmmaker. He's an actor. And with a man named Ian Hecox, Hecox, he co-founded the YouTube-based video production company
Oh, Smosh.
Smosh, Smosh. And Padilla made his film debut in Smosh, the movie, in 2015, and had a voiceover role in the Angry Birds movie in 2016 and its sequel 3 years later. Happy birthday, Anthony Padilla. 7 million subscribers. You and I, Barack, might sign up. He might get 7 million plus two, you know?
That
Possible.
would be so important for him.
It would. It would. Well, after you get to 7 million, who cares? You've
Yeah, who
got the
cares?
next one. Go ahead.
TikTok star Michelle Scott, who is 23 today with over 3 million followers, she posts memes and street interviews with strangers and TikToks about fashion and beauty.
Isn't that interesting? Well, happy birthday. She's only got 3 million followers, so she really needs to work on that. Next, we have a birthday girl, lady, Minna Rosa Weber. She's 22, just a baby. She is the top one in this list today. She's got over 8 million views, and it was for a particular video called This Video I Dash. That was it, the letter I. Whereas she's seen, I was reluctant to put this in here, but I had to because I couldn't find any other Insta birthdays with that many confused. She was inside of a laundry machine. I assume that means a washing machine. I hope to God it wasn't on. She posts lip sync and acting performances set to popular music on TikTok, also, where she has almost 1 million followers, 950,000, but who's counting? So happy birthday to Minna Rosa. Hmm.
Well, if she was in that washing machine, she might need help from the next lady. YouTube star, is it Millie T or Mill
Yes,
T? Millie T,
Millie T. Yep.
who is 25 today, has over 1.3 million subscribers, and she is a YouTube vlogger who is popular for her DIY projects and makeup tutorials. Well, fixing that washing machine. Um, she also does haul unboxings, product testing videos, and lifestyle vlogs. Her viral video, 8 Beauty Hacks Every Girl Must Know, has been viewed over 700,000 times. And she also has a popular series on testing fake makeup products from eBay.
Isn't that interesting?
Actually, that one sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to check it
Doesn't
out.
it really? I need to look her up. I'm pretty sure that was an I in there, Millie, because it wouldn't be 3L. So it's Millie and the capital letter T. So happy birthday to Anthony and Michelle and Minna Rosa and Millie. And I'm going to give them some, I'm going to give them some laughter here. That's laughing at how many millions you have and wishing I had a fraction of those, but we're saying happy birthday. It's time for our wacky holidays, and I'm going to start us off. We've got two really good ones here. Okay, wacky holiday number one. It's National Play-Doh Day. Let me start us off. 1933. Play-Doh was a wallpaper cleaner. I didn't know that. The brothers Cleo and Noah McVicker, McVicker, created the formula for a non-toxic, malleable, meaning you can move it around, it moves and changes shape. It's soft and flexible. Wallpaper cleaner for Qtol, K-U-T-O-L products in Cincinnati, Ohio. After World War II, this is the reason, Barack, and this is important. Many houses converted to oil and gas-based furnaces. Uh-oh, they didn't need wallpaper cleaners anymore. I thought the oil would have created the sludge on the wallpaper, but maybe that's backwards. Anyway, so they didn't do too well. When Cleo passed away, his son Joseph took over and he struggled to keep the business afloat as the demand kept plummeting. So at this point, Play-Doh was just a wallpaper cleaner. What happened next,
That
Barack?
is very fascinating.
Isn't
So
that?
in 1955, having survived those 22 years, Play-Doh meets the kids. Joseph McVicker's sister-in-law, who was a school teacher named Kay Zufal, suggested marketing and selling the product as arts and crafts for playtime. And she showed him the art created by her students by molding this clay and convinced him to sell the product through a new lens. McVicker began selling Play-Doh to elementary kids under the Rainbow Crafts Company Incorporated, a subsidiary of Qtol Products, and realized the potential of Play-Doh.
Wow. And 2 years later, Play-Doh became a celebrity. Why? Well, anybody remember Bob Keeshan? You might not know the name, but you've all heard of Captain Kangaroo.
Yes.
Play-Doh became an overnight sensation when Captain Kangaroo promoted it on the most popular weekly children's TV show, Captain Kangaroo. He showcased the product once a week. Sales were woo, back right up through the roof, making it a household name. So that was just 2 years after Kay convinced Joe to create Rainbow Crafts and to say, kids would like to play with this. Interesting marketing. You know, today, Captain Kangaroo would be considered an influencer, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be that's right. A TikTok guy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's not around anymore. And what's next? You've got it.
34 years after that, 1991, Hasbro acquires Play-Doh after it buys the Tonka Corporation. Play-Doh has been part of Tonka since 1989, having previously been owned by General Mills, who bought Rainbow Crafts in 1965 and then merged with Kenner in 1971. How did you even come up with all of that? That's just
Isn't
fascinating.
that interesting? I mean, we know the name Kenner. We know what General Mills is. We think of cereal. We know what Tonka. We think of Tonka trucks, if that's what they did. We know Hasbro from the toys. We know Play-Doh from Kay Zufall and the McVickers, Cleo and Noah and the son Joseph. And then we've got Captain Kangaroo. Isn't that an interesting? If you had to
And all of that from a wall cleaner.
Yes, if you had to make a Venn diagram, do you know how many balloons would intersect on that one?
The
Oh
tiny
my.
thing in the center is going to be so small.
And by the way, when my kids were young and we lived in Eugene, Oregon, I had a should we say, a daycare lady who lived a block from where we lived, and I would drop the younger child at her house to stay for the day, and then my son would walk up the block to the elementary school till my daughter was old enough to do that too. But this lady was named Mrs. Buckles, and she made her own Play-Doh, I think. She
Mrs.
made her
Buckles, I
own,
love it.
it really was. She made her own Play-Doh. Yeah, those were the days. I think we paid $3 an hour or something like that. Even when you were late, she charged you a little bit if you're late coming home from work. So you have the next holiday, and this is a fun one. I thought you would be appreciative of this one. Go ahead.
I'm absolutely loving it. I just read the title. Today is apparently the World Barber Day.
Wow. Do you
Who
think we
knew
need a
that?
whistle for that? I think, well, let me see if I can find the whistle.
I'm gonna whistle.
There we go. There's a whistle. You know what? I think this deserves the birds, and I
Just
think
like
we
it.
need to hear a Porsche revving. Okay. Okay, gentlemen, start your engine. Go ahead, Barack.
So, early barbers were often priests in ancient cultures like Egypt and tribal societies, performing haircutting as a ritualistic and spiritual practice. I actually knew that.
Good.
Early societies believed evil spirits could enter the body through the hair, so haircutting was a vital protective measure and a form of ritual purification.
Oh dear.
Barbers were highly respected as they were believed to control the departure of evil spirits through the hair and also officiated at religious marriage and baptism ceremonies.
Hmm.
I kind of wonder to bring my barber to the next spiritual ceremony. This sacred role gradually evolved into the more secular trade of barber surgeons in the Middle
Wow.
Ages before becoming the modern profession of hair cutting. Barber surgeons were skilled at pulling teeth,
Ah.
dressing wounds, and
Oh.
performing operations
Oh.
more than just styling man's hair and giving wet shaves.
This is I
That I did
researched
not
this.
know. That's absolutely fascinating.
Isn't this? And let's go to 1096. We're leaving out from wherever the early was. The first organizations for barber surgeons, that's barber/surgeons in France, was formed in response to Archbishop William of Rouen's ban on beards. But you're okay, Barack. You're fine. He's gone. He's not here right now. Leading the barbers to unite and establish the world's first formal school of surgery in Paris. So the barbers formed the surgery school. Here's the deal. Barber
Oh,
surgeons performed a wide range of duties, including hair cutting, we know, shaving, we know, and surgical procedures like bloodletting, with the things they put on your skin, and setting bone fractures. They lanced abscesses and they pulled rotten teeth. Well, that's the
were they
dentist part
also
of it.
were they
Gee,
also leech experts? I mean,
that was what I was thinking of. The organization reflected the combined duties of grooming and medical procedures. Can you imagine going to the barber and say, "Hey, I need to have I broke my elbow. Could you please set my bone? And by the way, I need a little trim on the
okay, yeah.
sideburns."
Or maybe the other way around, right? Get me a little trim and by the way.
go, go ahead. Who's next?
The century's famous barber Ambroise Paré, I
Mm-hmm.
guess,
Yep.
in the 1500s, 1510 to 1590, was a French barber surgeon who served Kings Henry II, Francis II, Charles IX, and Henry III, and was a member of the Parisian Barber Surgeon Guild. He is considered one of the fathers of surgery and modern forensic pathology and a pioneer in surgical techniques and battlefield medicine, especially in the treatment of wounds. Man, if you are a barber right now, you should be proud of your heritage. He was also an anatomist, invented several surgical instruments.
In 1795, we're still in the Dark Ages. A bill prohibited barbers from performing surgical procedures. It's called the Bill Defining Barbers' Roles, not barber poles. I wonder what it took to get people to say, you can't use the leeches to bloodlet, you can't fix fractures, you can't pull teeth, you can't lance wounds, you can't treat wounds, you can't lance abscesses. Something must have happened between the
Yeah,
1500s and I don't even want to know, do you?
uh,
I really
the
don't.
the 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 Big Barber Ban, is that what it was
Mm.
called?
Big barber,
Um,
there's got to be a better B word in there somewhere. Big barber bashing band, something like that. We'll come up with something. Okay, what's next?
1880, going to the salon was cheaper. Customers paid 3 cents for a shave and 5 to 12 cents for a haircut. And a barbershop's equipment costs around $20 total.
I won't tell you what I pay.
A
But you
shave and
know,
a, you remember that, you know, this like a shave and a haircut, two
yeah,
bits, right? You know, this
yeah,
whole,
yeah.
yeah.
But you know what was revelatory for me? A revelation was when I wanted to put the cents sign into this one. I never knew where it was on the keyboard, and I Googled it and I found it. I don't even remember what it was, but I just had fun putting 3 cents, 5 cents, and 12 cents in there for you to read. So I want you to know that was a learning journey for me. And we have one more, 1965, which is only 35 and 25, 60 years ago. Is that true? Yes, it is. The Barber Hall of Fame, A.B. Moeller, not, no, they weren't pulling teeth, it's Moler, is inducted into the Barber Hall of Fame. In 1893, he founded the first barber school in the U.S. This wasn't barber surgeon, this was a real barber in Chicago, Illinois, and he wrote the first textbook on barbering called The Moeller Manual of Barbering. How clever. In 1899, he franchised the first Moeller Barber College in St. Louis, Missouri, and a second franchise in Des Moines, or Des Moines, Iowa. He also wrote the books The Barber's Manual in 1920. He was prolific, Barack. The Manual of Beauty Culture in 1922. Ambition or Just Plain Laziness in 1930. What does that have? The Manual of Cosmetology in 1947. The Barber Manual in 1951. And the Manual of Cosmetology, which was revised in 1956. Any closing words you want? We're ready to close this party out. What do you think?
Well, just for that last one, I remember reading somewhere that they did a study of this, that the name that you are sort of like that you have, because there's all this thing in the past, right? In olden days, where like if you were the smith, you were Mr. Smith, right? If you were
Hmm.
the right, you know, if you're the carpenter, you're Mr. Carpenter. But there's still an effect of that even today. The name that you have seems to influence people choice of career, and so I found it fascinating that this gentleman whose last name was Moeller ended up being you know, in this sort of world as a barber, which apparently also used to be dentists. I don't know. I don't
On that note,
know.
let's see. Oh, come on, come on. No, 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 no. We're still on our car mode here. Sometimes my music player is very stubborn. Barack, you've been delightful. It was
You
delicious.
too. Thank you.
Delicious. Let's dance our way out. Nuno Orchestra, play us out. Is that what they say on TV?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's your
We're
day.
happy celebrating these birthdays.
Celebrating you in this
Special way.
Party shine.
Shine, we have a viewer. Hello, somebody on YouTube.
Celebrating
Thank you for
you in
watching. We got one. Working on my first million.
Gotta start with one.
Got to start somewhere. We're going to tell the orchestra to take a break. I'm Bonnie D. This is Barack E. It has been a lot of fun. Wave bye-bye. Bye, y'all.